Hey, what's going on, guys? Luca here at Studio DMI. We are in Mix Lab. We are in Studio M, where we actually do stereo mastering in this room. And today we're going to talk about common mistakes on mastering, especially on self-mastering. When you are the producer, now it's time to send the track to labels or play the track on a show. You want to make sure that you have competitive loudness, EQ, that you're, even if it's a temporary master, is actually close to the final result you expect to have from a professional mastering engineer like myself. So I just want to give you guys a couple of tips to mistakes that you want to avoid when you master your song yourself. It's fun. All right, taking this really cool Sick Dope track that we mastered actually here at Studio DMI months ago, and I'm going to go on a, again, completely in the box, no processing phase, and just probably predict what you might do to make your own master louder, but you might make a few mistakes. So let's play first the before mastering.
I got lost in Berlin.
So drop, this is the second drop here. Yeah, let's take this. There's more percussions, and this I feel more full and complete. So the first things you might do, you look your meter, and you want to try to get louder, right? I see a lot of you guys do this mistake. Open Pro L. When you get Pro L on the default mode from FabFilter, it shows up like this. The first things you tend to do, now to take the song to -4, you're pushing, in this case, almost 12 dB, and you leave the true peak limiting on. That's a problem. So true peak limiting, it's a second phase of limiting post the actual limiter to avoid intersample peaks. So, and that makes sense, especially for streaming purpose. Doesn't make much sense for club, even for download on Beatport. It's okay to have a couple of dB over 0, but avoid to change transient. So there is a quality true peaks on certain limiters or clipper, like Fire the Clip, or Ash, or other old limiter 6, they're great, but FabFilter Pro L through peak limiting, it's a no. It's changing the transient. It's almost have a feeling of compression post limiting. So a few things you want to do is stay away from through peak limiting. 2, work over sampling 16 times. That's definitely will improve a lot. But you're still gonna deal with over limiting. So let's play this now. Especially the first kick is always at a certain distortion, right? So there's a few things you want to consider in doing. Number 1, set your limiter, let's put this to 0, with equal loudness. You do equal loudness in a few different ways. So 1 is essentially 101. And 101 is auto gain, and then this way you are able to listen limiting without changing the output. You listen the result of limiting based on the input alone. Let's do one more time. Now you can tell how much you are compressing, how much you are reducing dynamic range. You take the life away of your music, right? And you can tell. But if you don't activate that, you go to pure loudness, you get excited to hear your song louder, you don't realize that you actually are compromising the dynamics of the song. Another option is option key. You push the level. The good thing is about with the option key, when you're pushing 16 dB, in this case, you are reducing 16 dB the output. So you're gain staging, actually, you're not trusting the auto gain of Pro L, you're actually lowering the output equally to pushing the input. And when you do option, you're reducing, now you go on the way around, you can see, right? So I strongly recommend to do this. Also, might be good in case you have multiple plugins on the master channel. All right, now, first things you want to do, you want to actually hear the limiter using attack and release time. And there's a certain misunderstanding about the attack. Let's do an extreme limiting just to understand. So look essentially what the meter is telling you. Attack time, make sure that you respect the BPM of the track in relationship of the attack and release time. And then if you do that, and if you look the meter on the Pro L, you understand what you're doing. That's a good way to understand dynamics, actually. And if you change the type of style of limiting, check it out. So, long story short is this. You want to think about attack release time based on the BPM of the track, for sure. And release time, it's a way to make sure that when you limit in the first transient, it's fast enough to reset before the next transient hit. Okay, so those two elements are very important. But let's talk about the biggest now and most important element to get a track loud and clean, which is something that a lot of self-master don't feel they're happening. So let's do a normal scenario where I'm using just the Pro L to get a -5. And let's say I do my best to set up attack and release time. All right, so I'm killing the transit to gain some level. Do some homeworks, but use the look ahead, but don't go over 0.18 millisecond. If you do that, you're gonna get cleaner, but you're gonna lose a lot of depth. Listen how much you're losing as far as like movement and groove when you go all the way to 5 millisecond look ahead. So you want to stay under -18. Now, let's put a clipper. And what is the goal? The goal is to make sure that we control dynamics with the help of a clipper, right? So let's open both plugins. And that's one mistake that I see a lot, which is you're limiting, and then you do this. You're limiting. Now you feel that you're getting louder, but you feel you're gonna you wanna be extra loud. You wanna push extra dB, and what you do, you put a clipper post limiting, right? You do that. So now what you do, you want to get even louder, you're pushing some gain into the clipper. Now you start to feel the music start to lose a lot of control. It gets flat, you lose the relationship kick and snare. It gets almost harsh on the upper mid range. So what you should do, flip, put the clipper before the limiter and use the limiter post clipping, but use the clipper to reduce peaks, not pushing level, reduce peaks. So check what's gonna happen. All right. Look the Pro L after I reduce peaks with the standard clip. So I'm gonna go with or without. First of all, it's pushed too much, right? So let's do a normal level. Talk about +5, right? We do -5 RMS. Let's take away the clipper. Now we divide the weights. So the clipper is dealing with those transient, the spikes, and the limiter will bring the level up. That's the best case scenario. And to do that, we are not pushing level with the clipper, we are reducing transient essentially. And we want to do with a high quality clipper. There is so many. I'm using standard clip because it's easier and visually easy to see what it's doing. Again, I recommend hard clipping, oversampling 4 times. And you reduce dynamic range till you see the spikes of kick and snare and bass being controlled. And then if you do in this way, you can totally tell visually what the Pro L is doing and how much weight we put on the Pro L. This is very effective to get a transparent, loud master. All right, guys, today was just about few tips and tricks on mastering in order to get your track louder, but without compromising anything. All right, see you. Bye.